and welcome to Money Life. This is Sucheta Dalal. Today we're going to talk about something different. Tanishq, whose jewelry I like, but this is about the ad. I'm sure all of you have seen the advertisement. Beautiful one which talks about an inter-religious marriage that's working very well, communal harmony and all that, which created a massive controversy, and Tanishq withdrew the ad. Now, I almost missed all of that. Why did we miss it? Because, believe it or not, we were busy with a SLAPP suit. What is a SLAPP suit? It's called a Strategic Lawsuit Against Public Participation. It's a name, an acronym coined by people in the US for suits that are really meant to gag the media or gag activists. You don't associate this with the makers of that beautiful ad, right? But this was served to us in Money Life against an article written by a very renowned columnist, and in a small district court, not going to say where, the matter is sub judice. What was stunning about it is A, that it came from this very storied group, B, that it was badly drafted, improperly served, and not even served on the writer, and there was an ex parte order of sorts. We don't even know what that order is because we didn't get it. Now, it was so strange that we initially thought it was a hoax and somebody was pulling a fast one on us. So we wrote to the board of directors and even messaged them and said, is this possible? Because there are wrong governments, it's not been properly served, we don't have the number. Guess what? Everybody knew. Our feedback is that everybody down the line in this company was fully aware of it. What does this have to do with the ad? Quite simple. Let's not build a big halo around a company which is essentially a business house and pretend that it's a social organization which is only out there to promote communal harmony. Tanishq is a jewelry brand, in fact a partnership with a Tamil Nadu based company, and everything that it does is meant to burnish its image. It's meant to increase its brand value. And it's got a genius advertising agency which is doing well. And in these days of social media, where messages can be amplified, where you have paid influencers, where you appoint digital marketing teams to relay and repeat your message across social media, a lot of things can happen that never happened before. Without casting any aspersions, I'm just going to narrate a few things. Now, I already told you about what we faced last week. Let's look at the history of the group. Okay. The Tatas have done a lot for the country. It's an amazing group and arguably probably runs a better business than many other corporate houses in India, even today. But it is not clean as driven snow, and it has had its share of controversy. In fact, in 2012, Ratan Tata approached the Supreme Court to try and gag the media and stop them from writing about what are infamously called the Neera Radia tapes, which revealed the manner in which they used their massive advertising budget and influence running into hundreds of crores to influence telecom policy, to influence who the minister would be, to influence the media itself with specific journalists. So, not what you expect from this group, right? They barely lived that down. In 2016, had the most disgraceful coup to oust a chairman, Cyrus Mistry. He's chairman of Tata Sons, the biggest post in the group. The manner in which it was done was disgraceful to say the least. It broke all norms of corporate governance. What is worse, there was a lot of innuendo, ads in the paper making all kinds of snide allegations, none of which have been proven 4 years later. And every independent director who questioned it and who stood up for Mr. Mistry, or not even Mr. Mistry, who even just stood up for the fact that what was done was disgraceful, has been ousted from the group. So, like I said, again, not a group that is clean as driven snow. Let's look. This is not all. I mean, one of the things that came out in the Neera Radia tapes was its deal with Unitech, its shady dealings with Sivasankaran of Siva, which continues to remain controversial and dragged on in their fight with Cyrus Mistry. So, let's now come back to the ad. And beautifully crafted ad, like I repeat, but let us look at what some experts say. Advertisements like this win global awards for advertising, so the ad agencies love it. The other thing that happens is it creates an impression. Even today, we have this impression that the whole Tata Group, which is uniquely controlled by a bunch of charitable trusts, is actually not a business house but a large social organization which is mainly into charities and also does business, which is not true. In fact, so huge is its influence because of the charities it runs that you rarely ever find NGOs and activists talking about it or criticizing it, because if you do, there is no more funding, and that is a fact. Okay, so now we are coming to the ad. What does it do for the Tata image? Let me not be the expert on this. Let's look at what an expert has to say. So I'm going to quote Shivaji Dasgupta of Inexro Brand Advisory, and here's what he says. You can go and read his blog. We'll show you the link out here. He says, let's get this straight once and for all. Brands are not in the business of promoting social causes unless they clearly add back to the business they are in. Just Titan is a business house. As he points out, Titan is not alone to use these soppy, mushy television advertisements which are like a long story which go viral on Facebook and YouTube. In fact, it's part of a new trend which is very easy, like I said, by the fact that social media can amplify messages through paid influencers. This is not what Shivaji Dasgupta is saying, this is what I am saying. And these digital marketing firms can spread both hate and gooey messages. Now let's come back to socially relevant advertisements. Like Mr. Dasgupta says, Tatas are not alone. There's Nike, there is Ariel. They've been using these to promote remove gender biases, promote harmony, all wonderful when it works. Point is, it's uncontrolled, unsupervised, no forum of complaint. You have people like even Body Shop and Nike using it, like I said. And while this may seem wonderful when it works well, it could also foment problems. Now, look at what happened with Tanishq. Forget about Tanishq, let's look at a few others to make this point that this is just an advertisement and part of a new trend. Remember Hindustan Lever's Fair and Lovely? I used to be part of the ASCI Consumer Complaints Council. And week after week, every time there was a new campaign, one would get complaints about Fair and Lovely, promoting that fairness leads to better jobs, more intelligence, and what have you. ASCI used to diligently uphold all the complaints. The ad was removed. The whole process used to take about 6 weeks, and I for one was pretty confident that Unilever was gaming the system because they knew they can carpet bomb every new Fair and Lovely ad, wait for that time of 6 weeks, by which time ASCI ruling would come, the ad would go, the next ad would again promote fair is good. Okay? Then you had this whole global issue, people marching on the streets about Black Lives Matter. And suddenly, Unilever remembered it's a global company, and while Indians may be very keen on looking fairer, even those 2 shades fairer that the ad promised, it is not something that makes the company look good globally. So it doesn't matter that you had ASCI. Unilever finally changed the name and dropped the fair only when the Black Lives Matter campaign began to get global dimensions, because it was all over the world and it probably didn't want it. But there was at least an ASCI-like mechanism which would look at it. Now, if you have these soppy, gooey ads which so-called promote goodwill, we've never felt the need to censor them or supervise them, never. But what happens when things go out of hand? Let me give you another example. Now, there was this food delivery company where apparently one customer said, I don't want to be served by someone of a particular religion. Went viral on Twitter and social media. That evening, I remember there were major issues of national importance, but there were 2-hour debates across channels on this one food delivery agency. What was even more curious was somebody who was pathetic enough to display bigotry and say, I don't want someone of a certain religion to deliver, was quite happy to be all over television giving interviews to everybody. And I always wondered, was it orchestrated? Were we made an ass of? Because the minute there was nothing to fuel the fire, it just fizzled off and died, and it's not a regular occurrence. So it's not that we Indians have turned bigots, that all of us call up our food delivery company and say, what is the religion of the guy who is going to deliver it? Does not happen. It was a rare occurrence. So I have my suspicions. The question is, when things go out of hand, who's going to check? Is there a forum where you can complain? Is there somebody who understands artificial intelligence and IT technology who can be part of a panel, who can deep dive and figure out where did it start, who benefited, why was it debated, why did this become an issue of national importance? We don't know. So I'm not making allegations. I'm saying that as gooey and soppy and beautiful and heartwarming and causing you to tear up this may be, it could be part of a trend where we are all being played by very, very smart agencies. It is what is called a calculated risk. So let me come back to what Mr. Shivaji Dasgupta says. And it's worth noting because he is an expert. He points out to Tanishq and he says it's neither the passionate causemonger, Tanishq as a company is neither the passionate causemonger nor the helpless or spineless victim it's made out to be. The motivation is not a concerted affiliation to national integration, but to capitalize on positive power of curated controversies. Look at it, positive power of curated controversies. What happens when the controversy goes out of hand? Judged by that yardstick, he says, Tanishq and Tata's have emerged as the winners both in terms of creating the advertisement and withdrawing it, so-called to protect its employees. Even today, there is acres of publicity and coverage. Most of it, 99% of it positive, doesn't matter the hate campaign that went on social media. So the calculated risk in producing socially sensitive and relevant advertising has worked in favor of brands who have adopted it. My point is what happens when your paid influencers and your curated controversies go out of hand. It could lead to loss of life, loss of property, law and order situations, and I think it has to be checked, because if you have TRPs being manipulated so that one or two channels pretend that they are the lead channels, and because of the hate-filled content that they generate, I call it content, not journalism, there are enough of people who are following it because they think this whole country wants that kind of completely mad, high decibel, controversial discussion night after night. We were led to believe that's what India has become, that's what the country is. This is the mischief that can be played when things are manipulated, when social media or the message or journalism and any other medium is manipulated. And I feel there has to be a way. I'm not saying have a pre-censorship, I'm not saying call them and have the ads passed, but at least when curated controversies are created, there has to be a mechanism where I can say, hey, I want this checked. Was it curated? Were we being made an ass of? Was this all orchestrated? And we need experts. You need people who understand technology and intelligence in order to know who are the beneficiaries. How does it happen? It's not advertising, it's all below the radar. I think it's time we Indians begin to say, we don't want to be played. We know that technology can do amazing things. Technology can even put the wrong person, make it out that he's saying something. We need to wake up to this, and we need a medium where at least after the fact there is an investigation and there are consequences for things that go wrong. Thank you.